Hello everyone, my name is Maddie, and I decided to do my video on the lenses behind the original Lion King made in 1994. The Lion King, a PG Disney movie that was brought to theaters in 1994, is about a journey in the African savannas where a future king is born. Simba is the heir to the throne, but when the villain Scar kills his dad Mufasa, Simba runs away, leaving his kingdom under Scar's power. On his journey, he comes to know himself better in order to take back the kingdom and take his place as true ruler of the Pride Rock and the Animal Kingdom. Soon after watching the movie, it's clear that the plot of The Lion King appears to portray a regular Disney movie suitable for young children. Despite containing dark scenes and mature themes such as death, betrayal, and rebirth, families were still drawn to the content and did not shy away from it. The Lion King achieved great success at the box office and set a record for the highest earnings for an animated film. Aside from these themes of the movie being for more mature audiences versus children, there were also Nazi references, Marxist, and feminist examples within this film and soundtrack. The lions have power over everything and are in control of the Pride Rock. Pride Rock symbolizes who has the highest power of the land. Mufasa has the highest power in the kingdom and within the land. Aside from Mufasa, Scar and the hyenas have the lowest economic power. The hyenas are the workers, bullies of the land, and forced to live in the shadows, out of view of the rest of society. Between them are the followers of the Pride Rock, who are in the middle class. The Lion King is about a conflict between the lower class, composed of the hyenas, and the upper class, controlled by lions, resulting in a Marxist revolution led by Scar. It is important to note that The Lion King is a product of its time, and the lack of strong female characters can be seen as a reflection of the gender roles and stereotypes that were recognized in society during the early 1990s. However, it is also important to acknowledge the impact that the media and entertainment have on shaping our perceptions and attitudes towards gender roles. If we look at the main characters within the film, you will notice that they are all male: Mufasa, Simba, Scar, Timon, Pumbaa, and Zazu. There are in fact only 4 female characters in the film: Nala, Sarabi, Shenzi, and Serafina, with only Nala playing a non-supporting role. In recent years, there has been a growing movement towards greater representation and diversity in media, including the inclusion of more strong female characters in film and television. This is important not only for promoting gender equality, but also for providing positive role models for young girls and boys who are growing up in a society that still struggles with gender stereotypes and biases. Overall, The Lion King may not be a perfect example of gender representation. It is a classical film that has entertained and inspired generations of audiences. As we continue to push for greater diversity and inclusion in media, we all have learned from the strengths and weaknesses of past works, and strive to create a more inclusive and an equitable future. The Lion King also contains several references to Nazi ideology and symbolism. However, it is important to note that this theory is not widely accepted by scholars and experts. The theory is based on a few specific elements in the film, including the use of Swahili phrase "Kuna Matata," which some believe in similar to the Nazi phrase "Aberte mache free," meaning work sets you free, that was used in concentration camps during World War II. It is important to note that these references are highly controversial and not widely accepted by scholars or experts. The creators of The Lion King have never publicly acknowledged any intentional references to Nazi ideology or symbolism in the film. Another imagery that resembles Nazi propaganda is when the hyenas are marching in formation in the portrayal of Scar, the film's villain, as a dark and threatening figure with facial features. It also has similarities between the film's plot and the rise of the Nazi Party in Germany. Scar sings a song called "Be Prepared." The song presents propaganda by how he persuades the hyenas to work for him, just like Hitler would do, making the soldiers do his dirty work for him. Disney did this to draw on themes of disturbing historical events, such as the multicultural phenomena of dictatorship. Scar sent the hyenas out to do his dirty work, to kill Simba to make sure he would be king. Now, with the film The Lion King being produced in 1994, Today, 29 years later, we are still observing these connections that were brought to life in the film in society today. For instance, issues relating to Marxism and anti-feminism that were shown in the film are found in our everyday lives, whether we like it or not. When looking at The Mute Compulsion by Michael Hendrick, he talks about that despite more than a decade of acute crises, a global pandemic, and a resolute resistance, capitalism lingers on. While Disney is often associated with family-friendly content, there are some instances of dark humor and adult themes in some of their movies. This is not something we want kids watching and thinking is okay. But when looking at life today and what is accepted, it makes me wonder what Disney's plan was all along. This movie has a lot of meaning that allows its audiences to see it in a different way. I remember my first time I listened to The Circle of Life. It took me getting a little older to understand the true meaning behind the film, The Lion King, and how it explores the concept of the circle of life. With the propaganda we see today and in the film, it is safe to say that this was never just a children's PG Disney film.